went to the strip club, broke the COVID protocols. Same shit, different day,
Do the
different sport.
NFL have that? Do they actually have COVID protocols?
I don't think they do. But I think that, the natural ones where you're supposed to wear a mask, you're supposed to be social distancing and stuff, but
they have protocols as far as
they do. Yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they
off
do.
the field, off the field.
Absolutely. The Denver Broncos went through a situation where they were pretty much punished by the league for breaking protocol when it comes to
Forgot about that. So the Saints,
but they were also at the Broncos facility when they broke the no mask thing. They were out on their own time.
I understand that, but I'm pretty sure that going out to nightclubs and partying were probably on the list of things you were not supposed to do during
It is because they fined him for it. It is. It absolutely is.
And he got fined for it. So I'm pretty sure he broke whatever the team's protocols were, and probably what the NFL had in place too. And that's why I'm so disappointed in the brother, man, because he had a golden opportunity in Washington, I believe, where, I mean, they threw him in the game last year, and it didn't work out well for him because, the game's a very fast-paced game, and, a lot of times rookie quarterbacks, they need a little bit of time to kind of adjust to the speed of the game. And then this year, he had the opportunity to sit behind a veteran like Alex Smith, and when it was his turn to get in, he didn't show growth, and maybe, as you can see with some of the decisions he has made as of recent, that maybe that's the reason why the growth didn't take place, because dude don't really take the job that serious.
Well, I was a little disappointed at first too, but now that I think about it, it seemed kind of genius to me. First of all, I wouldn't want to play in Washington anyway. So you telling me that wasn't a good idea? Like, fuck it. I know I'm on my last life. I'm gonna go to the strip club. I'm gonna see some tickle bitties, and I'm gonna get cut. He's not. It's not as gonna be his last job in the NFL. He's gonna go to another team. He's gonna get another shot. But it's fucked up because his coach was just battling cancer, so he put his coach at risk and stuff like that. That's the fucked up part. It was very selfish. But I mean, it's Washington. They don't have a fucking name. It's like, how can you?
Well,
he's a young.
I'm sorry, get you.
No, I was gonna say he's young. A lot of them make mistakes. I think that he's getting way more flack than he probably should get for it. I think that he was wrong, but there are people who don't think that he should ever play, and they're like, oh, he doesn't deserve it. And what's his Booger McFarlane went on this crazy.
Oh, that's harsh. Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah, I think he's wrong, but I don't think that he should be getting as much flack as he is. I think that he's just young and he made a bad decision, and he has to live with it. What were you about to say?
I think. So living here in Maryland, you hear stories about his work ethic. You've been hearing stories that his teammates don't like him much. He just don't. He's not a good leader. He's just got super immature ways in the locker room. So his own teammates weren't embracing him in that role. So aside from what he did, he definitely deserves a second chance. He ain't fucking kill nobody. So all that narrative is fucking stupid. Of course he deserves a second chance. How many fucking chances did he try to give Manziel? Exactly. Of course he deserves a second chance. That to me is a no-brainer. What I'm saying is, I don't think he's any good. Never. That was a fucking reach pick. That was a reach pick. So he wasn't that good. I don't think he was ever that good. But the point is this: he did himself a disservice because he didn't represent himself as a fucking man appropriately. He looked like a fucking child. He carried himself like a child. He did stupid shit. And there's other shit that was going on with him behind the scenes too that wasn't out in the media late, or a bunch of shit. So they've been dealing with his bullshit. Newsflash, he would have been cut 2 fucking weeks ago. The only reason he didn't get cut 2 weeks ago is because Alex Smith is fucking cast. He probably would have been cut. Right after that shit, they would have cut him. This season?
Just in
I
just
don't know,
overall.
4. Oh, total? Probably around 11.
He has 12 starts in total.
Yeah, I was going to say 11, so 12 starts total. Yeah, but he's not. Dude, I've watched every game that he's played. I just don't think he's that good.
Well,
he doesn't have the work ethic to overcome his flaws.
They might call me a hypocrite because the motherfucker beat us, but fucking that's why he catches so much flack from me, because he's not good. Just straight up. If you're good, if you have talent, you can get away with certain shit, or certain shit wouldn't be as spotlighted on you. I'll be like, okay, he'll learn from it. But when you're trash, they're not going to give you that excuse. They're not going to give you that benefit of the doubt.
So once you compound all that together, on top of the fact that, unfortunately, he's a black quarterback, and in this league, the black quarterbacks don't get the same opportunities as some of their counterparts do. So you're not that good. You make stupid off-field decisions. You put everybody at risk, and you're a horrible teammate. On top of that, you're a black guy. So, yes, he may have another opportunity, but I don't know if he'll ever get another serious look. A serious look.
Well, it's definitely not a good sign that he went unclaimed. That's not a good sign.
Yes.
Not one team claimed him.
Nobody's at the end of the year, there's only 1 week. I didn't take too much into that. Just because
I'm just saying.
At the beginning of the year, I would agree.
Nobody's fucking with him
week
right
16,
now. Nobody's fucking with him right now, which means that he's going to have to go back onto the circuit, in which he's going to have to go out here and audition to basically prove that he can still be a valuable member of somebody's team, and that's the part I don't know if he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, but he has to grow up, though. He has to grow up. If he can grow up, somebody will give him a shot if they need him. You know what I mean? If they believe they can work with his raw talent, what raw talent he does have, and they believe that they can coach him up because he's so young, somebody will give him a shot. But if he's not willing to be more responsible and be a little bit more dedicated, he'll ruin it again.
Yeah. So
I just think it's worse than people think for him not to get claimed. Because simply put, he ain't getting paid a lot of money. So a team could have easily claimed him and stashed him, and you got him on the roster coming into next year, and you let it play out. By not claiming him, now it's a bidding war if 3-4 other teams. So to me personally, in my opinion, it is a very bad sign that no one claimed him.
It's definitely not a good sign. It's definitely not a good sign.
Getting into a bidding war with a young quarterback that has caused trouble and is not playing good. That's why I'm saying, like,
but the point is,
who would
you gotta negotiate.
Yeah, I think especially going to the playoff, somebody would have picked him up just as a backup. I'm pretty sure it depends on what his contract would be like and stuff, but I'm pretty sure they can get him for nothing right now. For nothing, but
to do what with him? You need a vet going into the playoffs. You don't need somebody who you gotta teach and you gotta groom and you gotta sit him down and babysit him and say, I need you to come to meetings. Nobody wants to be bothered with that.
In this COVID world, having a backup, a quarterback, like, they don't grow on trees, man. I mean,
that's true.
If you're gonna get him dirt cheap, put him on the roster.
You're right. You think about 4 teams, including the team that's cut him. I'm pretty sure that somebody could use a backup quarterback, and guess what? They didn't even think to call his ass.
And I'm the biggest rival hater on the planet.
Not a good sign.
And that's how you know you're trash. Haskins, I never hated you. I never hated you. Even after you beat us, I never hated you. That's how trash I believe you are as a quarterback. But hopefully you get another job and you learn from your experience. But we're not about to waste our time talking about a bunch of ex-players on a football team that has no motherfucking name. So you with the Arrogant Underdogs NFL podcast special. You with my guy Hollywood Vic, who's in a great mood because his coach is getting fired. You with Dion the MVP, who's in a great mood because they beat us this weekend. I know. You with Eric, who's always in a fucking good mood because fucking team don't lose. And I'm just a bitter Eagle.
Why you bitter, Chris? Don't be bitter.
Because y'all beat us. But you know what? It might be a good thing.
You have to learn to stop hanging your football life on what the Cowboys do.
No, see, not don't do that.
For you, the season
like
revolves around the Cowboys. So you gotta stop doing that. So
once the season is out of reach, then yes, I agree. But once the season is out of reach, my joy depends on y'all failure. I ain't gonna lie. I hate y'all. That is just what it is. What it is.
All right. Well, we're in week 17. The Eagles are officially eliminated.
Yeah.
Out of here. Gone.
We celebrate.
One less
You ain't
team
shit, Ari.
in the NFC. Right after he tried to give him that compliment not that long ago, that backhanded compliment. But the Eagles are out of here.
Yes, we are.
Now for the NFC East, the division that everybody loves to talk about, the Cowboys have to play the Giants. That's important to me. I'm not on team tank. I prefer not to tank. I don't really believe in the whole idea behind tanking. I don't necessarily think we could go up against any of the teams in the playoffs, but I'd rather be there. So I'm kind of hoping we win. That game is important to me. So I want us to beat the Giants. I think we will. I don't know if Washington
is Daniels back?
Danny Downs is back.
Is he?
Danny
Or is it still McCoy?
Danny Downs is back.
I didn't think he was, but I guess so.
I'm not calling him Danny Downs, but
he's back.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. Where's it at? Is it in Philly or in what?
It's in New York.
Philly.
It's really in New Jersey. It's in New Jersey.
That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one, actually.
I wonder what the weather is. Is it gonna snow this weekend or what?
It's cold there now. I talked to my father-in-law earlier. It's really cold. I don't think it's snowing, but it's pretty cold there. But that game is important to me. So, do y'all have a game that's important to y'all? Or
Yep.
or maybe I shouldn't say important. What game are you most looking forward to? Because there's a lot of playoff implications this weekend. We got like Washington at Philly, Tennessee at Houston, Jags at Colts.
That's my game right there.
Yeah,
the Eagles versus the no-name team. Because I'm torn about this. Because if we beat Washington, right? The Cowgirls go to the playoffs.
You saying what, Chris?
The Cowboys win the division.
Yeah, if we beat Washington, the Cowgirls win the division.
If you beat Washington.
If they beat Washington. Mm-hmm.
If we beat Washington, right?
Because Washington is technically winning in. They win and they win the division.
And if that happens, nothing good comes for that. Anyway, I'm not. You know what? I'm actually not disappointed. I don't mind no more the Cowgirls going to the playoffs because I actually rather them lose in the playoffs. I'd rather enjoy watching them lose in the first round in the playoffs. I know that's going to happen.
But why would
the Matrix?
You don't want Washington to win the division?
Well, yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I want Doug Peterson fired, and I think the only way he gets fired if he goes out on a 2-game losing streak against 2 division rivals. And I think
Doug Peterson
he's gone. He's gone.
I don't think so either.
Doug Peterson
he's gone.
Fired. Let's go ahead and put that in.
He's gone.
Let's go ahead and put that in the space. Okay,
he ain't going nowhere.
The way we lost to the Cowgirls sealed his deal.
That man,
they made Gallup look like fucking Megatron.
And can I tell y'all something? This is real spit. They finally uploaded that game, right? I'm gonna tell y'all something. We won by a lot of points, but there was a lot of things that didn't look good. The Eagles just look really bad. Yeah,
our rookie, he fucked up. He played like a rookie. It is what it is. I'm not gonna.
He had a ton of questionable play calls. Like that was the first time I watched it, and I went, "Oh, I see where Chris is coming from." I think at one point it was like 3rd and 4, and y'all were like Sanders was like running, and it was like 3rd and 2, and then he throws the ball, and I was just like, "Why the fuck?" I get it's 3rd down, but y'all were like running the first.
Sanders was averaging 6.7 yards.
It was crazy.
Yards in the game when he did that.
Had him throw the ball. I thought that was.
I was like, "What the fuck?" Doug has to go. So I would rather sacrifice losing this game to Washington, getting swept by the Washington football team with no name.
Be hurt that Doug doesn't get fired.
But
you know what? I'm willing to take the chance.
But also, Chris, this is what I just want to make us cognizant of, right? Are we sure that a Super Bowl winning coach has been fired after a year or two of losing? When does that ever happen?
Oh, I don't know that.
I don't know if that's happened in history, so I don't know if the Eagles are going to make history.
How long after did Tom Coughlin get fired?
Gruden.
New York.
You know what? That's a good question.
If it wasn't Coughlin, I think Vic is right. We got to go all the way back to Gruden.
Yeah, so it's been damn near 20 years since this has happened. I don't know.
I don't care how long it's been. I don't know when's the last example of a coordinator leaving, or in the team changing drastically like the Eagles have. Like we have, like our change from our Super Bowl year has been dramatic.
Yeah, but y'all had a shit ton of injuries too, so I think that played a part into
2 years in a row.
But you don't think that it's getting progressively worse? Like it's not like they just like all of a sudden this year had a lot of injuries. Like last year they should look a little suspect too. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like the year before that. It was the same thing. We were all like damn near 8-8 fighting for the division.
Year before that they won the Super Bowl. So they had the Super Bowl. Then they
wasn't that like 3 years ago?
They won the Super Bowl. Then they had a shitty season last year.
And the year before last.
And now they're having this shitty season that they have this year. So it's Super Bowl. And
it was 2017. Yeah.
But I mean, you know, if a coach deserves a discount, this is definitely the season that you discount a coach on a COVID season. Like you gotta, I don't know. For me, I wouldn't want to see a coach who won a Super Bowl 2.5 years ago fired from his job. I think you at least gotta give him a chance to change his staff, make some internal changes on his roster, and see what he produces after that. But I definitely
he ain't going nowhere.
I think he's on the hot seat. I think he's on a hot seat, but I don't think he deserves to be fired.
Yeah. What game are you guys looking
Doug?
for Eric and Vic?
For me personally, I'm interested in seeing how the Packers line up against the Bears. There's a lot on the line for the Packers, just as much on the line as it is for the Bears. The Packers need this win to secure that home field advantage and get that bye. Because if they lose and the Saints win, then the Saints will get it. So I think that I think is probably one of the biggest games of the weekend. Here's a chance for Khalil Mack to earn some of that money that they've been paying him, and I think he would love to knock off Aaron Rodgers and submit their place into the playoffs this season with Trick Trubisky and the rest of the guys. And it should be interesting. Should be a good game. Allen Robinson's coming on. The Bears are starting to get that running game going a little bit, and Trubisky starting to run that rock a little bit.
There's no way in hell I would trust Mitch though, or the Bears. But I do like the setup of it. But there's no way in hell I'm trusting the Bears.
I'm calling it a trap game for the Packers.
But Montgomery has been killing it the last like 4 games. They're using him well now.
And it's a rivalry game. And it's in Chicago. So I love to see how this thing plays out.
Just put Devontae Adams in your FanDuel. Your fantasy.
Well, he's going to kill it regardless. So
savage.
That's the Vic, what game are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Bills and the Dolphins. I think it's for the foreseeable future, that's going to be the AFC. They're going to be a problem in the AFC. For the Dolphins are a team quiet as kept. Nobody wants to see them in the playoffs. I promise you. That dude Flores has that defense wilding, and they're playing really good ball right now.
I'm not on the Dolphins train. That's going to be a good game, though. Maybe. It's a hit or miss. Because Dolphins do got a good defense sometimes.
I think it's going to be a good game. I think they got a good defense. I think they got good running backs. I think that kid Gaskins is sneaky good. I think Ahmed is sneaky good, too.
And so
they got an elite tight end. I think Gesicki's a beast. So
nice running back duel.
And Buffalo beat them the first time, right? I'm pretty sure Buffalo beat them the first time.
Did beat them the first time. I think so. But they play tough. Those are division games, so you never know. But I think it's gonna also I'm interested in seeing what Flores is gonna do. There's a legit quarterback controversy brewing over there. Does Fitzpatrick give him a better chance to win, or is it Tua? Fitzpatrick has to come and clean up twice already.
I like though that he's confident enough to do it. Yeah, I do. I think so too. I think that he's confident enough to do it, and I think it actually helps Tua more than it hurts him. I think people think it hurts him. I think it helps him because one, he knows that he's learning, right? And Fitz can come in and clean it up. He's a vet. So he knows what the role is. He knows that he may or may not be starting. He can handle it. He's been in the league long enough, but it gives Tua the chance to go in there and play. And then if he's not doing good, you pull him out and let the vet finish it up. I think it's smart too.
I think a lot of times we always give praise to the coordinators and stuff, but I think in this situation we got to give a little bit of praise to whoever the quarterback's coach is in Miami, because what they're saying is that when the game gets tight and coverages start to change a bit, he notices from his quarterback that there's some changes. So he's pulling him before he sacrifices his psyche and putting in the savvy vet to finish the game. That shit's fucking brilliant.
It's brilliant the first year to me, but
it's the first year. The first year, of course.
Yeah.
The first year, of course. The first year, absolutely. The first year. It's definitely smart. Definitely.
You know what it shows? It shows a coach in total fucking control of his team. Because not every coach could pull that off. To pull two quarterbacks back and forth like that, attitudes and all that, that goes to show you that he's running that shit. And he's got everybody bought into whatever the fuck he's doing. And that's why they're fucking dangerous.
Do y'all think that it makes a difference for the playoffs? You think that he has to pick one, or can this sustain through the playoffs?
Hell no, he better pick a quarterback. He tried that shit in the playoffs. He's gonna go all bad. It's gonna go all bad. He tried that shit in the playoffs.
I don't know. I don't think publicly he has to pick one, because it actually helps him to be vague for the matchup. Defensive coordinators got to prepare for two totally different dudes. So it's actually brilliant for him to in a way, it's sneaky genius. Because now in the playoffs, if he doesn't announce the quarterback, you motherfuckers are like, all right, you got to prepare for both. You got to prepare for both. And that kind of throws you off.
Think about the change-up. You prepare all week for both, right? Let's say you prepare all week for both. But you just played, your players have just played 3 hard quarters against Tua. Then all of a sudden, Fitzpatrick comes off the bench.
Fresh, with fresh legs.
I mean, pretty much you got to change up some of your techniques to adjust to the new quarterback, right? So now you're like, well, what the fuck do I do right now? Because the game plan for the Dolphins was to do this from the beginning. And it's going to be very hard to adjust to that on the fly pretty much inside of the game, because from a defensive lineman standpoint, you play completely different when you're playing a drop back passer versus a mobile quarterback. So technique has to change in the fucking game. That could present a problem.
But more teams would do that though. I think you're banking on him doing well. If he gets put in that position, he might come in and completely fuck up.
You know this is a copycat league, so it wouldn't surprise me that you see this shit more and more going forward.
No,
I think this is the one thing I don't think can catch on, because I'm with Vic.
Yeah.
You gotta have some balls as a coach to do this with. For instance, LaFleur ain't pulling it off. I don't give a damn how bad Rodgers plays. Yeah. Rodgers gonna play all 4 quarters, and if not,
this is only because he's a rookie. This is what you do with a rookie quarterback. And
you can get away with it as a rookie. Right?
It's with a rookie quarterback.
That's what I mean.
You don't see this.
What a rookie.
But if Green Bay drafts a rookie, they're not gonna bench Rodgers in the middle of the season, like they did Fitzpatrick, and then do the flip flop. It's just not gonna work.
It's a different vibe because guess what?
Absolutely.
They drafted that kid last year. He's going to legitimately sit behind Rodgers for 3 to 4 years before it's his turn to play. They won 2 already in a year's time. So in order to speed up the process, they're teaching them on the fly, showing him how to get in and out of a situation, putting in a vet and saying, this is how a vet will handle the situation inside the game.
The Dolphins are playing with house money, and that's why they're fucking dangerous.
That's what I said. They don't have nothing to do.
The plan was to get him ready, give him some time so that next season they got all those picks. Man, they got the Texans fucking pick. You understand that the Dolphins are going to have a fucking top 5 pick? They may have the 4th or the 5th. They may have the 5th pick because the fucking Texans dropped the ball. So, wow, think about that. So they got that. They got their pick. They're going to have 2 first-round picks, a slew of picks after that. Dolphins are going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah,
I'm just not sold on it. I'm not on the Dolphins train. I'm not sold on the motherfuckers. Sound like y'all convinced though. Y'all definitely convinced, but all these Dolphins gonna be a problem in the playoff. They're dangerous.
I'm not completely sold.
They're not dangerous.
I'm not completely sold. I think that they're a team
out the first round too.
They deserve to be in the playoffs, but I don't think that they're.
Ain't nobody saying they're gonna go fucking dominate anything. I'm just saying they're not a good first round matchup for a lot of teams. That's not the team you want to be seeing in the motherfucking first round, guaranteed. Teams that can run the ball, really good coaching, play really good fucking defense are not that you don't want to see that shit in the first round.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. And they could send somebody home.
Do you think a team like Miami can match up against Kansas City?
No.
Yeah, not really. Like they just no. They have to have a lot of fluke shit happen for them to, you know what I'm saying?
Who can match up with Kansas City? Like a lot of people are saying
I got somebody in mind right now.
AFC Championship. In the AFC, on the AFC side.
The other side of Mahomes and Hill, you got Allen and Diggs. I think they starting to look like they can survive that shootout that Eric was talking about earlier with KC. At least, or they can take them to the battlefield with it.
I think the only way to beat Kansas City is to like get into a shootout with them and find a way to score more points, right? When it comes to Buffalo, the only problem Buffalo's going to have with that is that if we double Diggs, then where do they go with the ball from there? Kansas City has 2 or 3 options to keep the ball rolling. And on top of that, the Bills don't have a great pass rush. And the first time the Bills and the Chiefs played, that was a huge problem for them because it allowed Mahomes to pretty much hold the ball longer than most teams would like for him to hold the ball and find open targets all day. So I think that's going to present the biggest problem for Buffalo. If I had to pick a team or 2 who I wouldn't want to play are the extremely run-dominant teams in a playoff game. I don't, find it favorable to play the Indianapolis Colts or the Cleveland Browns, both because, one, Myles Garrett is a motherfucking problem. And Eric Fisher is not that great. You know what I'm saying? And we have had problems the last 6 to 7 weeks playing teams with extremely talented defensive lines. So the Cleveland Browns
and they can run the
ball. Wait.
That's the team right there that I think any team who does not have a dominant defensive line will definitely get beat by us.
You just sit here and told me that the only way to beat KC is through a shootout. But you're scared of the run dominant team?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the one. I think Cleveland is probably the one team that can keep Mahomes on the sideline.
This is why, though. You act like a run dominant team can't fucking run the scoreboard up. I just watched the Saints put up 6 rushing touchdowns and score 52 points.
That's not common.
So don't tell me that run-dominant teams can't get in the shootouts. Sometimes teams start peeling off runs. Man, the Cleveland Browns sometimes run for almost 300 yards a game.
So you think that the Browns running game can compete offensively with your team's passing game?
Absolutely, with a dominant defensive line. If they could put us in a position where we fucking punt the ball to them and they running the ball, that's the situation I don't want.
Yeah, but Cleveland's not a dominant defensive line. They just got one stud. They just got one. You scheme for that dude.
Year.
But that's what I'm trying to
say.
Scheme
for that dude.
I think
but nobody's who's been successful scheming for
one dude. That one dude.
What do you mean? They lost 5 games. 5 teams have been successful.
Yeah, but even in their losses, he's dominant. Even in their losses, he's dominant. Even in their losses, that's the crazy part about it.
But he's one guy though is the point. So he gets his, they still lose.
But you know, like I know, Vic. That is a position where you're basically one-on-one. It's mano a mano. Is that fucking defensive end and that fucking offensive tackle, and in a pass-heavy offense like ours, a guy like that can change the game. That's
Eric,
what I'm afraid of.
So Eric, if you know that, what makes you think Andy Reid doesn't know that? You think that he would just let him go in there and just dominate?
To be honest with you, I don't think any of the teams in the AFC present a real problem for the Chiefs as far as getting back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Cleveland being a threat. I'm not buying that shit one bit.
If I had to pick a team who I wouldn't want to play, it would be one of those two, either Indianapolis or the Cleveland Browns, because of their ability to run the ball, and they have
Indianapolis to me is a bigger threat.
Some defensive prowess up front.
I would say Indy. I would definitely give Indy a better chance over
Indy's
Browns.
a bigger threat, in my opinion.
Our offensive line just not that good. Eric Fisher's just not that good.
Eric just be saying, "I'm really nobody can beat us, so I'm gonna just choose a team to say can beat us." That's what.
Well, Indiana's on the cusp of not even making the playoffs at this point.
I know, right?
That's
crazy.
No Jacksonville.
Hey, this Sunday is gonna be glorious. Just to sit back and be a fly on the wall.
There's definitely
Jacksonville is tanking though, so there's no way Jacksonville.
They can beat Jacksonville and still not make the playoffs. I think it would require the Bengals to beat the Ravens, and a couple of other things have to happen, but they can certainly beat the Jags and not make it.
I'm putting my chips. I'm putting my chips with the mustache this weekend. The mustache gonna throw for 300 and
no way in hell.
What mustache?
3 touchdowns.
Minshew got benched, bro. You ain't paying attention.
No, he back. He
came back in the game last week.
He back. He started last week.
He did?
He started.
But did they announce the starter yet?
They did.
Because the whole reason they started, well, actually, they were tanking, but now they ain't got to worry about it because we locked. So they're locked in at 1, Jets are locked in at 2, and that's because Cleveland got the tie. So no matter what, if the Jets win and Cleveland loses, Jets still got the number 2 pick based on Cleveland having a tie. Thank you, Eagles.
Cincy, yeah.
Cincy, that's right, Cincy. Yeah.
Same shit.
So either way, I think the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick are already locked. So it don't matter what they do.
They are.
So
they're gonna get the number 1 pick no matter what.
The best Jaguar team this weekend to go out there beat those Colts. That's what I want.
Man, if you are invincible like you say you are, you wouldn't even care.
It's still football, Chris. It's still football.
That's a good point.
You shouldn't care. You should think that KC can line up against any team, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, Chris, I'll just say this. Out the last 24 games, 23 of them failed. The only one that beat us, we wind up whipping their ass in a revenge game. So, ain't nobody really beat us, Chris. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter.
So, as good as y'all are playing, a lot of people think that Mahomes is not likely to win the MVP.
Okay.
But just a few weeks ago, it was like a given that Mahomes was going to be MVP, and everyone was just like, "Duh, it's Mahomes." But now
it still is a given to me. I don't understand what the confusion is.
Because people believe it's
Why?
Rodgers now.
What you mean?
Because Rodgers is.
Listen, the only thing that Rodgers has over Mahomes is that he has 5 more touchdowns. 5 more touchdowns.
That's it. That's it. Eric?
The only thing.
That's it. That's
and
it.
one less win.
But Mahomes leads the league in passing again. He only had
MVP. Hold on.
had a 1 interception difference, and the fact that he only lost 1 game.
The MVP is not just about statistics as well. The MVP is also about look at what Mahomes has. He's got Pro Bowlers everywhere. Aaron Rodgers got one guy and a bunch of nobodies. He got Jones.
I wouldn't go that far.
You say Pro Bowlers everywhere. We have 3 people on offense that are Pro Bowlers. So we got 1 more Pro Bowler than him.
Well, it also has a lot to do with when you peak, right? So I remember I told you guys this, right? If Mahomes wasn't playing better than anyone else in the last few weeks, it's not going to matter, and he's probably not going to get it. Like, no one cares that Russell Wilson was playing lights out for the first 5 weeks.
In the beginning, yeah.
No one cares. It's right now for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And the past 2 to 3 weeks, a lot of people believe that Rodgers has been better.
I think it's very a tight race right now. It's close.
I agree.
I don't think it's close. Me personally, because one guy's lost 3 times, and the other guy's only lost once.
But Eric, the other guy only lost 3 times.
But he's only lost once. Especially if they lose on Sunday.
They're not losing Sunday.
But even if
they're favorite to win. They're favorite to win.
Well, does that really matter?
They're not losing Sunday.
The other guy leads the league in passing.
The other guy is their quarterback. This is why you're saying that it's clear cut. If you wasn't a KC's fan, you'd be saying it's closer than what it is.
What I'm saying is, here's a guy. Now check this out. Here's a guy who won the Super Bowl MVP last year. Had it not been for Lamar Jackson's miraculous year, he would have won the MVP again last year. To be honest with you, he's gotten better. He's 15. He's 14.
Who's gotten better? Mahomes. Didn't he just have what would be considered a questionable game for him against Atlanta?
What's questionable? A win is questionable.
Well, no, because we're talking about don't do that because we're talking about MVP. So these are individual stats for one person against other people.
What did Aaron Rodgers do against a playoff team?
He had like 230 and 4 touchdowns and a pick.
And Mahomes
had like 230, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
All right, so what's better, 4 or 2?
14 and 1 is better.
No, Eric,
you get the fuck out of here.
Right, you know better because we're talking about MVP, and you know the MVP is not selected based on how the MVP is not selected based on how many wins a team has. You know that.
No, that's false. When we talk about MVP, it also talks about how many wins the QB has. That's like one of the greatest criteria.
Okay, and when you combine that with the other stats, that's not the only stat, though.
Let me finish. There have been many quarterbacks who've had extremely good years and finished 8-8, 7-9. They're not in the talks for the MVP. The MVP is always going to be the winning.
Get your boy. Get your boy.
So Green Bay is going 8-8.
Right, get your boy. Exactly.
You're making it seem like it's not close.
Listen, they're going to finish 13-3, possibly 12-4. If they finish 12-4, it's really over. It's over real fast. Don't even take it to the vote. Just get it, man.
I don't think so.
You see, Vic just walked out on
you. Right.
Well, Vic's had enough of this shit.
Right.
Vic walked out in the middle of the show.
Sick of your shit. God damn it.
Tired. Took the lights out. So listen. All right, let's just move past that. So
don't ever say that shit again. Don't ever say that shit again.
Run it back. Run it back.
Tour.
And
well,
until
y'all
next
be
time,
safe.
y'all be good. We'll holler at y'all. Happy
Peace.
New Year. We'll see y'all in 2021. Peace.
Use an Uber. Call Lyft. Don't drink and drive.
Don't be a fucking rookie.
Jeez.
Don't be a rookie. Don't embarrass your family on New Year.
Don't be a rookie.